Amara was a very good mom. She was strong and kind. Her husband had gone to heaven because of a car crash long ago. He was a very brave man, so Amara worked very hard, harder than almost anyone. She did this for her son, Chinedu. She loved him more than anything. Amara's alarm clock made a loud beep-beep sound. The sun was still sleeping outside the window. The clock said 5:30 in the morning. Amara never slept past this time. She was always ready to start the day. She knew every moment mattered. She got out of bed very quietly. She did not want to wake her little boy. The wooden floor felt cold under her feet. She put on her soft house shoes. She went to the small kitchen. The kitchen was small but very clean. She put clean water in the kettle. The kettle made a loud whistling sound as the water got hot. Soon the room smelled like dark, hot coffee and fried eggs. Amara loved the smell of coffee. It gave her energy to be fast. She also made Chinedu's lunch. She put a peanut butter sandwich in a square yellow box. She added a bright red apple. She put a small sweet banana next to the apple. She wrote a small note on a white napkin. The note said, "Have a super day, my hero. Love, Mummy." She tucked the note inside the lunchbox. Chinedu was 7 years old. Amara kissed his head to wake him up. "Good morning, handsome," she said softly. She tickled his nose a little bit. Chinedu smiled right away. "Good morning, Mummy." He stretched his arms high above his head, like a cat stretching. He yawned a very big yawn. They sat at the small table together. They ate their food very quickly. Amara told him a funny, silly story about a frog who wore a tiny, bright red hat to school. Amara used simple, funny words to talk about their fast schedule. She hummed a quiet, happy song while she cooked and cleaned. The quiet song was like a warm shield against her worries. Chinedu got dressed while she cleaned the plates. He was very good at being fast. He put on his school uniform, which was blue and white. He packed his school bag all by himself. He made sure he had his red pencil and his favorite reading book. Chinedu gave her a big hug. He wrapped his arms around her waist very tightly. He gave her a strong squeeze. "Mummy, you are the strongest person in the whole wide world." Amara hugged him back tightly. She felt tears start in her eyes. He did not know how tired she was inside, but their love was the biggest thing they had. It was their magic power together. Amara looked out the window at the parking spot. She had a feeling the day would be hard. "Oh no," she sighed sadly, "the old dark blue car is still sleeping." She tried to turn the key in the car. It just made a quiet click noise. The car was broken again. She knew she had to take the city bus. The bus was always slow because of the big, heavy traffic in the city. The traffic was loud and long and slow. Amara took Chinedu's hand. They walked fast, fast, fast to his school bus stop. The clock was ticking, ticking inside Amara's head like a fast drum. She kept looking at her wristwatch. They got there just as the big yellow bus drove away very fast. Amara felt a big rush of panic and worry. She was too late for the school bus. She took a deep breath. She closed her eyes and counted to 10 very slowly inside her head. She walked Chinedu the rest of the way to the school gate. She gave him a big, fast kiss goodbye. "Be brave today, Mummy," Chinedu called. He looked worried for her. "Always," she answered. She turned and ran to the main city bus stop. She ran as fast as a racing horse. The city bus was 8 minutes late today. She tapped her foot while she waited, watching the seconds tick by. She held her briefcase tightly. The bus finally came, but it was full of people. She had to stand all the way to her big, tall job building. The bus ride was bumpy and hot. When Amara finally got to the tall glass building where she worked, she saw the big clock on the wall. It said 8:45 a.m. She should have been there at 8:30 a.m. She was 15 minutes late. Her heart felt heavy and worried, like a stone inside her chest. She needed this job very much to feed her son. Amara hurried into the big, shiny lobby. The room was full of glass windows and shiny silver metal. She tried to walk past the main desk very quietly. She hoped no one would see her sneak in. But Amara was not lucky at all. She saw the boss, Tunde Olukoya. He was the main owner of the company, Zenith Holdings. Tunde was very rich and very scary. He was talking to 3 important visitors. They wore fancy suits and shiny shoes. "Miss Eze." Tunde's voice cut through the air. It was quiet, but it sounded like a very loud noise to Amara. Amara stopped right away. Her face felt hot and red with shame. She looked at the floor. "You are 15 minutes late, Miss Edza," Tunde said. He spoke slowly with cold, hard eyes. He looked at his own fancy watch. "I am very sorry, sir. My old car was broken and the city bus was—" "I do not want to hear any sad stories." He cut her off rudely. His voice was like ice. "Being late means you are sloppy. It means you do not care about your job. We do not want sloppy work here. Is that clear to you?" The three important guests looked at Amara. They smiled small, mean smiles. Amara felt very, very embarrassed. She felt the pain and the anger rise up in her throat. She swallowed her tears very hard. She kept her eyes steady and did not look down. "Yes, sir. It is perfectly clear." She did not say anything about her broken car or how she ran for her son. She just walked past them to the work lift. She felt very small and unwanted. When she got to her desk, she felt sick. She put her head down for just one small minute. She thought, "I will not quit. I need this job for Chinedu." That night, Amara put Chinedu to bed. She kissed his forehead. He fell asleep right away. She sat alone in the dark living room. She knelt by the sofa. The room was quiet and warm. "Dear God," she whispered to the quiet air, "I am so tired and so sad. Please help me be strong tomorrow. Help me to be kind, even to the mean boss. Just show me a small, small light in this dark, hard time." Miles away, Tunde was in his tall glass house. The house was huge and cold. He drank a glass of expensive red wine. He did not pray. He thought praying was weak and only for silly people. He had lots of money, but his huge house felt empty, like a big, cold box. He was very lonely, but he did not know why. The next day, Tunde's grandpa came to the office. The grandpa, Elder Olukoya, was kind and old. He had a soft, friendly face. He had built the company many years ago. "You run this huge place like a heartless machine, Tunde," his grandpa said, looking sad. "It is a good machine, grandfather. It makes lots of money, the most money ever," Tunde said proudly. "Money is not everything," his grandpa said, shaking his head slowly. "You use these work rules to be mean to people. You use them like a sharp weapon. We built this company with heart and love for our workers. People stay here because we like them and help them. You are cold to them." Tunde did not listen to his grandpa. He thought about Amara's face when he yelled at her. He was angry that she was still in his head. He did not like thinking about her. He made the rules even harder to prove his grandpa was wrong. He made the cost for health medicine higher for all the workers. Amara was given a new, mean job. She had to write reports about workers who were late. She saw her own name on the late list. It felt very bad, like a new cut on her skin. Tunde saw her working hard at the new job. She was always quiet and fast. She was very good at her work. Her good work made his cruel rules look silly and unnecessary. She never complained, not once. Her quiet, strong way made Tunde feel bad and uneasy inside. Tunde saw her name on a list for the big company party. She was sitting with the regular staff far in the back. He looked at her small work photo on the paper. She looked tired but very strong. He quickly closed the paper. He wanted to stay cold and far away from feeling bad. He did not want to be soft like his grandpa. The big company party was coming very soon. It was the biggest event of the year. Everyone got a printed invite in a gold envelope. Amara got her fancy invite in her work envelope. It felt like a joke to her. Why did they ask her? She was the one Tunde yelled at in front of everyone. Amara's co-worker, Bimpa, was mean to her. "Are you really going, Amara? I would not want to look out of place or poor." Bimpi whispered the words loudly enough for other people to hear. Amara just smiled a small, tired smile. "Yes, I am going," she said simply. She had to go to show them she was not scared. She would not hide for Tunde. Amara showed the invite to Chinedu when she got home. His eyes got big and round like saucers. "Wow, Mummy, a princess party," he yelled happily. "It is just a fancy work dinner," she said, "and I do not have a nice dress to wear." Chinedu was sure she could go. "You will look like a queen, Mummy. You always do." Amara decided to try to find something. She drove her old dark blue car. It finally worked today. To a small shop outside the city. Iya Kemi, the kind woman who owned the shop, looked at Amara. Amara told her she needed a cheap, nice dress for the party. Kemi brought a beautiful soft silver dress from the back room. It was clean and moved nicely when Amara walked. A woman gave me this dress to sell, Kemi said softly. She said it was for someone with a true, strong light. Amara gasped at the low price. It was very cheap. Take it, the kind woman said. Listen to me carefully. It's not about the dress or the money. Walk in with your head high and strong. Do not let their money make you feel like trash. Amara drove home. She said the words over and over. Walk in with your head high. It was her warm, strong shield. The night of the party finally came. The party room was beautiful and shiny. Bright lights hung from the high ceiling, making everything sparkle. Tables had smooth white cloths and shiny glasses. The air felt full of money and power and important words. Amara walked in. The silver dress moved softly around her. She walked with her head held high, just like she promised Kemi. She felt a small bit of fear, but she kept walking. She looked for a quiet table far away. But her seat was close to the very front. It was near Tunde and his most important guests. She saw Tunde right away. He looked very clean and very hard. He wore a dark, expensive suit. When he looked at her, he did not smile. He just looked through her. Amara sat down. She tried to look small and not noticeable. She watched the rich people talk and laugh. In the middle of dinner, Amara saw that Tunde's table needed more wine. Amara was used to helping and getting things done. She stood up to help the busy server bring a bottle. She carried a full bottle of dark red wine and empty cups on a small tray. A man was talking too loudly behind her. He did not look where he was going. He hit Amara's arm very hard. The bottle tipped. Splash! The red wine poured out all over the front of a very, very rich guest's white jacket. The beautiful white jacket was totally ruined. The dark red wine dripped onto the floor. The whole room went quiet immediately. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Tunde rushed over to the table. His face was full of cold, deep anger. He looked like a dark storm cloud. "What is the meaning of this mess, Miss Edze?" Tunde asked, his voice shaking with mad feelings. "Sir, I tried to help the server. Someone hit me very hard." "You tried to do a job that is not yours to do." He cut her off rudely. "This is messy work. This is why some people should just stick to their small roles and be happy there." He leaned in very close to her ear. His words were mean and sharp. "If you were not ready for this important place, Miss Eze, you should have stayed hidden." The word hidden felt like a rock hitting her heart. It hurt more than anything else. He was saying she was not important enough to be seen or heard. Amara put the empty bottle down on the table. She did not say a word back. She walked quickly out of the room. She felt all the eyes watching her back as she left. She ran into the quiet hall outside. She fell against the cool marble wall. She cried hot, silent tears that slid down her face. She was angry at Tunde. She was tired of fighting to be strong. Her kind friend Neka found her there. "He is a mean monster, Amara, but you are not leaving this place because of his mean words," Neka said strongly. "You are going back in there right now. They need a singer for the show. You must go and sing for them." Amara was so scared she could not breathe right. But her beautiful voice was her only truth. Amara walked back into the bright room. Neka held her hand and led her to the small stage. Amara's legs were shaking like leaves. "I can't do it, Neka," she whispered quickly. "You can't let him laugh at your truth," Neka whispered back. Amara took the microphone stand. Tunde was still talking to the man with the wine stain. He did not see her yet. "Good evening, everyone," Amara said. Her voice was strong, not quiet or shaky. "My name is Amara Edze. I am a helper here in this building." She started her song. The song was called Broken but Blessed. Her voice was beautiful and clear, like a bell ringing. It was full of her own hard times and her big faith in God. "They cut me with the words they speak. I run on empty. I feel weak." The whole room stopped talking. Glasses stopped making a clinking sound. People turned around in their chairs. Tunde turned around last of all. He heard the deep pain in her song. He also heard the strong, bright hope in her voice. He saw that she was not sloppy. She was a great, brave fighter. When the song ended, the people clapped very, very loudly. They stood up to cheer for her. Tunde stood up too. He did not clap, but he looked at her face, shocked. He felt very sorry and ashamed for being so mean. The next morning, Amara was called to Tunde's big, tall office. He looked at her face. He looked sad and a little bit tired himself. "Miss Eza," he said softly, "I must say sorry again. What I did was cruel and terrible. It was wrong. It was all my fault." He gave her a thick paper folder. "I put out a paper saying I was wrong and that you are brave. I also put a check in here for your son's school for 10 whole years." Amara took the folder. She looked at the very big number on the check. Then she put the folder back on his shiny desk. "Thank you, Mr. Olukoya," she said softly, "but I cannot take this money from you." Tunde frowned. He was very surprised she said no. "This money is to make things right again," he said. "I understand, sir, but I don't want money to fix this big problem," Amara said. She looked him right in the eye, very straight. "I want fairness. I want respect. The money will run out very fast. I want you to see me and all your workers as people, not just machines you use." Tunde stared at her face. Her strong refusal hit him very hard. She was asking for something bigger than all his money. "Respect," he said slowly. "I will try to give you that always." He put the check away. Amara left the office. Soon after, Tunde sent her a text message on her phone. 2. You have great courage. Thank you for teaching me. AE, thank you for the apology, sir. That was much better than the money. In the next few weeks, Tunde slowly started to change his ways. He was not warm right away, but he was kind. He gave Amara new, very important jobs. She was very good and smart at them. Amara saw that Tunde was tired. He slept less than she did. He was very lonely in his big house. He thought being soft meant being weak. Tunde started asking, "How are you and your son, Miss Eze?" He meant the question for real. He remembered small things about Chinedu. Then came the fun family day for all the workers. Tunde usually ran far away from this event. This year, Tunde came to the party. He even stepped into a water tank game to raise money. When he got splashed with cold water, he laughed a big, real laugh for the first time. Amara brought Chinedu. Tunde came over to meet her son. Tunde knelt down low so he could look Chinedu right in the eyes. "Your mum is the most important, brave person in this whole building," Tunde told the boy. Amara watched them. She saw that Tunde had a heart after all. Later, Amara spoke to him quietly. "You don't have to carry all the problems alone, Mr. Olukoya. The big weight you carry is too heavy for one person. It is okay to let people help you sometimes." He did not answer her words, but he did not walk away. He stayed right next to her all afternoon. Amara and Tunde worked very well together now, but the mean worker, Bimpa, was very jealous. She started telling bad, mean lies to everyone. "Amara is sleeping with the boss to get big jobs," Bimpa would whisper to other staff. The lies got put on the internet for everyone to see. Big writing said, "Boss and widow, secret love. Did Amara trade her body for a new job?" One day Chinedu came home very sad. His eyes were red. "Mummy, the other boys at school said you are sleeping with your boss. What does that word mean?" Amara felt terrible inside. The lies had hurt her sweet son. She went to Tunde's office right away. "The lies are hurting my son very badly, Mr. Olukoya. You must stop them now." Tunde was very angry at the lies. He called a huge meeting for all the workers in the big room. He stood on the stage. "I called you all here because of the silly stories you are telling," he said. He spoke loudly and clearly so everyone could hear. "First, Amara, Eza and I are not in love. That is a mean lie from someone who is very jealous." The crowd was very quiet. Bimpe looked scared. "Second, and most important, Miss Amara Eza is a great woman who works hard. She is a widow who fights bravely for her son. She has earned every job she has. She is smart and brave." He looked out at everyone with his cold eyes. "Gossip and meanness will not stay here. You will treat Amara and all workers with kindness and respect, or you will lose your job today." He protected Amara with all his power and his strong words. Amara felt she had to work even harder to prove Tunde was right. She stayed late every single night to run a new program for families. She was running on very little sleep and no rest. One night, very late, she was all alone in the quiet office. She tried to stand up from her chair, but her body felt weak and heavy. Her head hurt very badly. She fell down on the hard floor. Tunde was working late too, in his own office. He came to check on her just in case. He found her lying there on the floor. "Amara!" he yelled very loudly. He was so scared. He had never felt this scared before in his whole life. He rushed her to the hospital very fast in his car. At the hospital, Amara woke up. Tunde was sitting quietly by her bed. Chinedu came to visit her too. Tunde knelt by the boy's side. "Chinedu," Tunde said softly, "your mum is strong, but she is here because I asked her to do too much work. She is very brave, but she needs rest." When Chinedu left the room, Tunde looked at Amara's face. "I was so afraid you were badly hurt," he confessed. "I love you. Your great strength has changed my whole life. I care for you deeply in my heart." Amara gently held his hand. "I know, Tunde," she whispered. "I care for you too. We are here, together for a special reason." 6 months later, Tunde was a kind and good boss to everyone. He was happy for the first time. Amara ran the helpful family program. Amara was no longer the helper who spilled wine. She was the leader of the whole program. She was strong and respected. At a big party, Amara walked onto the stage in a beautiful gold dress. The people clapped loudly for her. She was the hero of the company. She sang a new song called Grace Found. Chinedu walked out and stood with her. They sang the song together, mother and son. When the song ended, Tunde walked up to the stage. He looked at Amara. He reached into his pocket slowly. He got down on one knee on the floor. "Amara," he said, his voice soft and shaky with love, "you saved me. You taught me how to be kind and truly strong. Please let me love you. Let me love Chinedu. Please be my family forever." Amara cried happy tears that ran down her cheeks. She said, "Yes." Chinedu cheered very loudly, jumping up and down. Everyone else clapped and cheered. Amara, Tunde, and Chinedu danced together. They were a strong, whole, happy family now. They knew that their life together would be a long, strong song. After the party, Amara and Tunde started to plan their new life together. Tunde had a very big, tall house, but Amara said no to living there. "The house is too cold and too empty," Amara told him honestly. "It is too big for Chinedu to feel safe and warm. We need a warm, cozy place for us." Tunde agreed right away. He knew she was right. He sold the cold glass house. They found a lovely new house near the beach and the blue ocean. It was still big, but it had soft, warm colors inside. It had a big green yard for Chinedu to run and play all day. Chinedu was the happiest boy ever. He loved running on the soft grass. He loved Tunde. He loved that Tunde played soccer with him every single day after school. Amara and Tunde spent time decorating the house together. They chose warm paint colors and soft, comfortable chairs. Amara taught Tunde how to laugh and be silly and playful. Tunde taught Amara how to not worry about money anymore. They had a party at the new house to celebrate. Tunde invited his grandpa, Elder Olukoya. The elder smiled bigger and wider than Tunde had ever seen him smile. "You finally have a heart now, Tunde," the elder said, looking happy. "Amara is a gift from God." Tunde smiled at Amara. "She is a gift, Grandpa, and she is my wife soon." The wedding day was bright and sunny and perfect. Amara wore a beautiful white dress. It was not silver, but it shone like the sun and the stars. The church was full of people who loved them. All the workers from Zenith Holdings were there to cheer. Even Bimpy, the mean worker, came. She looked sad but quiet in the back row. Chinedu was the ring-bearer. He was a very important helper. He walked down the long aisle, holding the gold rings on a small velvet pillow. He felt so proud and tall. Amara walked with her head high, just like Iwaya Kemi told her to do years ago. Tunde looked at her face. He cried a little bit because he was so happy and so full of love. When they said, "I do," everyone cheered very loudly. They threw white rice in the air. At the party after the church, Amara and Tunde danced together. Chinedu danced with them, jumping and spinning. Tunde pulled Amara close to his heart. "I will never forget the day you sang your song," he whispered. "You taught me that being strong means being honest and kind, not mean." Amara kissed him gently. "I love you, my brave, kind man." They looked at Chinedu, who was laughing and chasing a small dog. They were no longer two sad people. They were a whole, complete, happy family. They knew that their life together would be a long, strong, loving song forever.